Hey everyone, it's Synth Designer back again with another Sound Design Basics video. Today I wanted to show beginners the kind of importance of alternative wave shapes. Now, so many popular sounds were created using the basic saws, the basic squares, the basic sine waves, and that's great. If you wanted to create kind of basic sounds and kind of play around with the classics, of course, that is the way to do it. Take, for example, kind of a saw wave here. We can stack them up the unison, just down the detune a little bit. And what we got? Classic super saw. And there's nothing wrong with that sound. It's been used tons of times very successfully, and if you want to create that, that's great. But if you have a VST like Serum, for example, or Vital, which is absolutely free, by the way, consider using some alternative wavetables if you can, just to kind of vary your sounds. So instead of using a basic saw, let's use one of these other saws that's available. Let's go into it. Let's use this M saw. Do we hear much of a difference yet? Great thing is here, we can mess around with the wavetable position, right? And that will give us kind of a constant variation. And if we use an LFO, for example, we can attach the LFO to the wavetable position, turn it on a slow setting, and let's listen to it. This is especially great for creating pads. Rather than having that kind of static sound that you have to add a lot of effects to make it interesting, we can add LFOs to kind of these different wavetables that have a lot of different positioning, and that in itself is going to create a lot of difference, right? The same could be said of any types of sounds, basses, pads, plucks, whatever. The point is, try to play around with these sounds. Don't be afraid of using kind of similar shapes, but not necessarily the same. We can add a different saw even. Let's take a look at the subby saw and see kind of the difference it will make. Over here especially, you can hear in this position. It sounds a lot different, sounds more square almost, right? Because it has this shape. When we move it over here, it sounds a little bit more traditional, but compare it to just the basic saw, right? This is so much brighter and it has that very distinct sharp sound to it. So think about these types of things when you're creating your own presets. Make them unique by using kind of alternative wavetable shapes. Let's play around with another one. Let's go to a basic square, for example. So this is the basic square. I'm going to turn on the detune a bit. And let's find something that's kind of a square as well. We can have two squares, of course. So we'll start with that and see what we get. I'm going to remove the LFO here. Has that very unique square sound to it. You can imagine different types of organs maybe being created with it, or different pads. We can filter it. Kind of a hollow sound to it. But let's think about a different one. So let's find something a little bit square, but not quite. This square, in quotation marks, B-sod square. So this doesn't change much in the wavetable position. That kind of gives us another unique sound. Let's see if we can find something else. Saw rounded to square. So this is going to change a lot. That's the LFO. And now you can hear kind of getting those upper frequencies a little bit more, rather than just having that static sound. So think about how you can use some of these, right? Sometimes it pays off to have just the basic sounds. Sometimes if you have the ability, try to find something similar, but something a little bit different. You know what I mean? The point is really to kind of get you thinking about sound design and the elements behind it. What makes certain wavetables sound the way they do, and what makes them unique or not unique. When you have a lot of different wavetables at your disposal, use them. Don't be afraid to kind of mix and match together and see where it works. So hopefully this kind of gives you some basic ideas on just playing around with wavetables and seeing what you can do with them. Think about this for any synth. Even something like GMS in FL Studio has it. They have different kind of saws, different types of squares. Play around with those and see how they sound together. That way you'll get a lot more kind of unique sounds of your own. So hopefully you like this video, and I'll see you next time.